Hey guys, Gameboy 3800 here once again. We're going to go back into Beam. Today we're going to go over a new option that we can see in support tools. We see Vulkan modes. Now what is Vulkan? Vulkan is a low-level graphics API originally developed by AMD called Mantle that has since spun off into its own thing, now called Vulkan. Vulkan allows you to get more FPS from a many-core processor. So for example, I've got an older AMD Ryzen processor. That's great for workstation use, but less than desirable results can happen in gaming. In BeamNG, once Vulkan mode is fully fledged out and working, it should give you a nice FPS boost in CPU limited scenarios, although it can actually make you lose a little bit of performance in GPU limited scenarios. So it's a little bit hit or miss. My graphics card and processor are both good enough that it doesn't really matter anyways. But we're going to hit Vulkan mode, and I'm recording the whole desktop here because it's a little bit odd. It's clearly still in development, this display mode for Beam, but it is available for you to mess around with if you really want. If we go full screen mode, it just won't let us. There we go. If we do anything like full screen trying to, we get pink bars, and I don't know why. We're going to be windowed mode. And we're going to go to a map called York Fair. Normally this map would be great for testing the CPU limited scenario because it's got a lot of cars and that requires a lot of physics calculations. But we're going to find it's a little bit different. And I'm not sure if any of the flashing I saw in testing will appear in the video. It might, so maybe look away when we load into this. It said it's unstable, and it very much is. If you change any of the graphic settings, or sometimes just even choosing a different car, can just crash the game. So I guess we'll see how far we can go. But the strangest artifact I've found so far, and one that does appear on video and is the most unique, is that we do get some odd color palettes because of this. Sometimes it looks really awkward and bad, but other times it looks almost cool. Sometimes, though, it does look like a really bad hue shift custom truck. So, I'm not sure if you see this. For me, I got a ton of green squares and stuff on the wall here, and blue squares and stuff on the truck. They're very tiny, only like 10 pixels squared. But it's clearly not supposed to happen. So I'm going to teleport my truck over to here, where we can see it. One thing that the Vulkan renderer does seem to do is fix the trunks of the crush cars, because in the normal mode, the trunks are really glitchy. And they all even reset fine, so I don't know what's going on with the trunks in this game. In previous testing, they were spiky and all over the place. We're going to go over to here and spawn up the default monster truck. That is MaxD. The MaxD is supposed to be gray on the outsides, and going down the middle is supposed to be a thing of red and orange fire. It is now turned to blue. Yep, reds and oranges become like blues and whites with this update, or this rendering mode. Even the sponsor plates and the limiting straps on the axles are like that. They're supposed to be yellow or have orange stickers, but they're now blue and teal. It's only some parts though. The tail lights are still red, and the drive shaft loops are still orange. And if we go to a Gravedigger monster truck, it'll be just as odd. We're going to go to the one called Ice. And this is all blue, but we've been seeing that orange stuff and blue stuff get swapped. So this is supposed to be an ice-themed monster truck. Instead, it has become like a red western look, but snow. So Gravedigger Ice has become no longer ice. Another odd truck I've found is Son of a Digger. Instead of it being blue, it'll be a red shifted truck, but only the body. The chassis and the tires are still blue. Yeah, you can have a go with this yourself. You may see some really odd graphical glitches like I'm seeing right now. I'm not sure if it's appearing on video. If it is, that's just what I'm dealing with here. And I'll do one more truck. One of my trucks I know is also affected by this. Good old Hush Power. Now, this is not the only renderer. This is a very clearly experimental renderer option for this game. You can still use the normal DirectX 11, and that will work perfectly fine. But it's clear that Vulkan is the direction that the game's going to go. Once that is all fixed and good to go, that will be the default renderer, I'm sure. And you may not have a graphics card that supports this. Graphics cards that support the Vulkan API are anything from AMD, from the AMD Radeon HD 7000 series, or anything from NVIDIA, from the NVIDIA GeForce 600 series. So anything from 2013 onwards should work. If you're running an older graphics card like a NVIDIA Fermi or something pre-AMD GCN, then that will be the update that you can no longer run the game on the most up-to-date version. This happened before. I think it was version 0.16 where the game forces everyone to be on DirectX 11, and anyone running DirectX 10 graphics cards, they can no longer play the game on the most up-to-date version. That's just how it goes. Games get updated, and the hardware, it can't update itself, so that's how it goes. It's cool to know, though, that Vulkan is supported on such a wide range of cards, though. So it's very likely you still have a system that will be able to play this game, even when it's fully up-to-date in the future. That's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. And remember, this is not how the game looks and works now. You can still launch the game by default in DirectX 11 mode, and it'll work perfectly fine. That is still the default mode as of the making of this video. This is just experimenting to see what it'll be in the future. As for FPS, I'm not really getting any better FPS in this Vulkan test mode than normal DirectX 11 mode, so I don't really know what's up with that. But, you know, maybe that'll change. Thanks, Game Boy Out. I'll see you all in the future.